If you don't like salads, make a soup or a smoothie. When I was living in Spain, I discovered Gazpacho, which is the soup of the gods. And in the hot Spanish summer, a cold soup tastes great. So I figured, how difficult could it be to make a soup that's cold? So I tried to make Gazpacho, and it turned out pretty good. But I'm not a big fan of following recipes. I just like to shove everything in together and see what comes out at the other end. To this end, I discovered that basically you could take out whatever you had in your fridge or garden, shove it in a blender, and call it soup. The taste of course varies, but what you have to do is put stuff in to make it taste good, such as garlic or salt and pepper or sauces. Anyway, whatever comes out always tastes better than a salad, and it takes less time to eat. So for me, the first step is to look in the garden and see if anything is growing. This time I was lucky. There was some lettuce, some Italian parsley, something that looks like Swiss chard, some mint, some basil, and some other green stuff which I assume would either be healthy or taste good. Possibly dill, possibly fennel, I'm not quite sure, but it does taste good. So grab some green stuff, take it inside, and give it a good wash. Growing organically, you will attract little creatures who like to eat your leaves, and sometimes stay on them when you're trying to eat them. Of course, I'm sure they're healthy if they do get put in the blender. Next, go to the fridge and see if there's any green stuff in there, or possibly other coloured stuff. It doesn't really matter. If it's a veggie, just shove it in. On this occasion, we had some cucumbers, some kelp, and some peppers. Sometimes I'll add some onion, and on this occasion I actually forgot the garlic, which was a major error. I chop up the tomatoes first and put them in because they're soft and probably helps the blender turn around quicker. I chop everything up as much as possible so that it'll be easier for the blender to blend. Once you have the vegetables in there, just add stuff to make it taste good. First up is olive oil, partly because it tastes good, partly because it's healthy, and partly because it gives the soup or smoothie some kind of base. I usually put in balsamic vinegar, soy sauce, salt and pepper, mayonnaise, sometimes wine, sometimes gin, very often wasabi, or perhaps kimchi, or maybe some Thai spicy sweet and sour sauce. There are no rules, just shove stuff in and see how it tastes. I start the blender on slow and then speed it up. Occasionally the vegetables won't sink to the bottom, so you have to turn the blender off and push the vegetables down, especially kelp, that's kind of slow to mix. But I don't usually have to put the blender on ultra fast, just reasonably fast. After you've been blending for a while, you can dip a spoon in and taste it and adjust the taste to whatever you want. My cooking sensei says I must put my smoothie in a glass container. Don't know why, but apparently it's better. The consistency varies quite a bit depending on what you put in it. If you put carrots in it, it'll be quite thick. If you leave carrots out, it can be almost drinkable. And after you put it in the fridge, it'll also thicken up a little. One point to note is that when it's in the fridge or when it's been left, the elements will separate a bit, so you have to mix it before you eat it or drink it. Very often it doesn't look very pretty, but it tastes okay, sometimes great, and it's very, very healthy. So it's a great way to be healthy and eat easily. Sometimes I'll eat it with some bread or some toast or some potato chips, but that's probably defeating the point of having vegetables. But it makes you feel good. Enjoy your vegetable smoothie.